Union leaders threaten strike action over public service appointments. Health inspectors condemn police cell blocks. And fans show support for NSL Grand Final.
This is National EMTV News with Lorraine Genia.
Good evening, great to have your company for Friday's news. Public sector union leaders are demanding an immediate stop to political interference in public service appointments. During a news conference this afternoon, members of the Council of Public Sector Unions warned that if political appointments and interference continues, the entire public service will come to a halt. This warning follows the battle for the Commissioner's post within the Correctional Service and a rumour that Police Commissioner Gary Baki may be replaced.
This message goes to the government that COPSU, as a federated body, we will not sit back and watch. The entire COPSU affiliate will be supporting the two associations, both CIS and police. If they are to stand down, the entire COPSU affiliates will stand down, and the public service will be crippled.
Public Employees Association General Secretary Peter Toggs chaired the COPSU news conference this afternoon and said political interference has become demoralizing for public servants.
Political interference in the public service has basically crippled the service delivery machine.
He said matters of appointments such as the CS Commissioner's post is now before the courts, which is wasting public money.
The reason being is that due process in the public service has been hijacked by politicians. Due process is not followed by politicians, the national executive arm of the government.
Another matter of concern for the union leaders was salaries. Police Union General Secretary and COPSU Deputy Chairman Clemens Kanau said their members have complained this week of variances to their salaries.
Police that there have been cuts to their salaries, and we are very concerned. We are investigating this particular allegation.
From 30 kina up to 100 kina. The police HR, they are also in doubt. They don't know what is really happening because they are also facing the same situation.
Kanau called for other public servants to come forward if they see unexplained salary cuts.
Please liaise with the unions quickly and immediately so we can take this issue. It's an indication of government facing financial crisis as we speak.
Veteran unionist Ugwalubu Moana said public servant salaries should never be tampered with and warns of decisive action if this warning is not heeded.
We are here because we are in solidarity. We are willing to act now and act with solidarity. And that's why we are calling on all our members to be vigilant, stand by to embrace further instructions from the unions.
Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
Two lawyers, Sam Bonner and Tiffany Twivy, will face the Lawyers Statutory Committee for disciplinary actions. In a three-man bench ruling this morning, the Supreme Court refused Twivy and Bonner's applications to review the decision of Judge Nicholas Kirwom, sitting as a single judge of the Supreme Court when he issued that order. Judge Derek Hartshorn accepted the application, however was overruled by Judge Colin McKyle and Judge Don Sawang.
Justice Kiriwom, when sitting as a single judge of the Supreme Court in 2015, heard an application filed by the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, who is also the fourth respondent in this matter, for an interim injunction to restrain JAMA lawyers from representing National Fraud and Anti-Corruption Director Matthew Damaru and Timothy Gitua, his deputy. In his ruling, he observed that Twivy and Bonner could be guilty of perverting the course of justice. They filed an application in the District Court, setting aside the warrant of arrest of Treasury Secretary Dairi Vele without notifying Detective Chief Inspector Timothy Gitua, who was the complainant in the proceeding at the Committal Court. Gitua was replaced with RPNGC as the new complainant or informant. Justice Kiriwom referred them to Lawyers Statutory Committee, finding their actions to be unethical, unprofessional, and could very well amount to perverting the course of justice. Meanwhile, the lawyers filed this application to three-man Supreme Court bench, arguing that they were denied natural justice and procedural fairness because they were not given any opportunity to be heard. However, today Justice Sawong, who ruled in Justice Achen and Justice Makai's absences, said the court refused the application and found it misconceived. The appellant, James Marape, second respondent, Ano Pala, fourth respondent, RPNGC, and the fifth respondent, the state, will pay Damaru and Gitua the cost. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
The government aims to introduce a new accounting and budgeting system in all departments to ensure there's transparency and accountability. This new system is called the Integrated Financial Management System, or IFMS. Finance Department Secretary Dr. Ken Nangan says the new system will be rolled out in all departments this year and then provincial governments in 2017.
The new accounting and budgeting system, called the Integrated Financial Management System, or IFMS, will replace the old system called the Provincial Government Accounting System, or PGES. PGES was the system used since independence when the country's national budget was below 500 million kina. Now, with the increase of national budget to over 15 billion kina, Dr. Nangan says the PGES system is no longer relevant and effective. Dr. Nangan says the IFMS system was introduced to manage large revenue. The new system provides real-time information and is effective for planning, budgeting, accounting, and financial reporting, complying with the Public Finance Management Act.
It helps the management of public funds better because the system is accessible on on iPads and iPhones. You can be able to approve expenditure wherever you are, whether you are in country or outside of the country. People don't have to wait for you to come back to approve those payments. That they can be approved anywhere. So it's real time. It happens immediately.
The IFMS is the system that runs government checks. 5 government departments and statutory bodies, Implementation and Rural Development, Transport, National Statistical Office, National Museum and Art Gallery, will be using this new system. The central provincial government was the first to implement the new accounting system.
A lot of the development funds are no longer kept in Waigani. They've now been sent to the provinces and districts. It is important that we provide visibility and transparency on the use of those funds in the provinces and districts.
As more funds are rolled out into the districts, the new system will facilitate transparency, accountability, and reporting procedures. Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
The Rabaul Volcano Observatory reported a 5.3 magnitude earthquake this morning. Senior volcanologist Ima Itikarai confirmed the earth tremor to be tectonic in nature and not volcanic. The earthquake struck at around 10:30 this morning and lasted for at least 2 minutes. Mr. Itikarai said the epicenter was located offshore of the eastern coast of New Ireland province. No major damages were reported. This morning's earthquake was one of many that has happened in recent weeks in the New Guinea Islands region, with magnitudes of more than 5. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching National EMTV News. Cell blocks at the Boroko Police Station in Port Moresby have been condemned by NCDC health inspectors because of their unhygienic condition. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Benjamin Turi said the cells have been around for more than 40 years with no proper ventilation and storage system in place and now facing overcrowding of detainees. Marilyn Diao-Katam has more.
From inspections, it was revealed that detainees have been living in unhygienic conditions and few others have contracted skin diseases, poor water and sanitation, and even foul smell in the surrounding area. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Benjamin Turi said the cells are unfit to house detainees. Even police officers fall sick from the unhygienic surroundings.
Our cell is not of a standard of a human being according to the international standard. Okay, we have breached a lot. So politicians out there, leaders, our 4 MPs from NCD, what we have here is unfit for human to live. The moment you walk into the cell, you start smelling and feeling the hot air or stuffy. There is no ventilation in the cell. Water is leaking underneath the cell. This cell needs to be condemned, and a new one should be built right now. The ladies in there have no proper place to use. Okay? They're all crowded in one toilet.
Overcrowding is another issue, just like any other lockup around the country, that has become too common. The Boroko police station cell blocks are meant to hold 6 to 7 detainees at a time, but are currently holding more than 10. Medsup Turi said as of last night, the cell prison has reached more than 140 detainees. On the weekends, the number goes up to 200.
Now, once this cell is condemned, it will be in line with our commissioner's intent to have 3 districts to have the cells from northwest, northeast, and the south. And we will separate these prisoners in there. They are not going to stay overnight there. By next week, Monday, Tuesday, they will be moving. We will make space for them in the 3 districts commanders here now.
A final report will be released in the coming week by the NCDC health inspectors that will recommend for changes. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
After 20 years of negotiation and consultation, Dalo District in Eastern Highlands has finally established its first high school. Dalo MP Ron Ganarafo said previous leaders pushed authorities for this institution to serve the people of Dalo. Thousands flocked to Dalo Station to witness the opening.
The new high school is the first for the people of Dalo. The development of this institution was criticized by many who branded it as a failed project. But after almost 20 years, constant funding using DSIP funds has resulted in history making for the people and leaders of Dalo District.
Dalo District, Emi Nidim High School.
Pioneer Headmaster James Nubu says many challenges will be faced since it's a new school. Nubu said discipline is the key to achieve good results.
As the pioneer headmaster of this school, me like in Pignini Dalo, he must kiss him Same also one can level also over a hablo Paponigini.
Dalo High School has witnessed its first enrollment of 170 grade 9 students for next year's classes. 8 staff houses and 2 new school trucks were also launched to support the school. The Dalo District Administration called upon locals to embrace this development as it prioritizes education to develop its human resource.
Reach out now, Mama and Papa, or Piginini, or teachers from Mipla, or Dalo High School, we can see our high school in progress.
The district is planning to upgrade the school to secondary level, but will need up to 7 million kina to achieve this goal.
Building yet, or number 3. Now by all day high school is up. I'm not working building yet for number 3 library. Nah, some more building is up, important building.
Jack Lapava Jr. National EMTV News.
Early childhood learning at elementary level is vital for children's education, and teachers must be trained in colleges and universities. An elementary teacher trainer told EMTV News that the current teacher training duration of 6 weeks is irrelevant and ineffective. Yangaru Sausia District elementary trainer David Nangusi said elementary teachers must receive a full year of training to qualify.
The 6 weeks elementary teacher training in the provincial and district level is considered irrelevant and ineffective. Concerns have been raised by Yangaru Sausia District elementary teacher trainer David Nangusi for all elementary teachers to receive a full year of training in teachers' colleges to qualify teaching at the early learning institutions, including elementary.
That's la 6-week training. Aiming on that. So time all teachers all finish in 6 weeks training and all go to classroom. They are not fully equipped with all the teaching and teaching skills.
6 weeks of training is not enough, and many teachers complain of not receiving teaching materials and guides on time. Yangru Southside District was among the first to send at least 4 elementary teachers to the University of Goroka. The teachers have returned with a diploma certificate in childhood and elementary teaching.
Niblalo district, Nibla making contribution also. Nibla makes also most of payroll, government, now go school.
District Education Manager Alwis Warangi said improving teachers' qualification is among priorities the district will consider when recruiting teachers.
We are getting there, but we must do better. How we do better? We must start good elementary.
Local MP Richard Maru said education is among the top priorities, and his administration will continue funding all schools with double classrooms and teachers' houses. He said this when opening the Seventh-day Adventist Church-run elementary school at Javrakwa village early this week. Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
Teachers play a major role in determining the achievement of students. Quality teaching and teacher quality are the primary focus in achieving quality education. Acting Deputy Secretary of TVET, Godfrey Yeroa, says quality education is a priority for the department. He was speaking at the opening of the new infrastructure at Balob Teachers College.
Speaking on behalf of the Acting Secretary for Education, Dr. Uka Kombra, Mr. Erira says the Education Department has programs and activities that have been implemented to ensure that our teachers have access to quality training. Yerira made those remarks during the opening of the 6 new classrooms, a dormitory and washroom at Balob Teachers College and funded by the European Union at the cost of 5.4 million kina. The 6 classrooms will cater for 40 students, an office for 6 staff and a storeroom. The dormitory has 43 rooms that will cater for more than 100 students. The facility can also cater for persons with disability. The new infrastructure developments in the selected teachers' colleges, including Balob, will ensure that many more quality teachers are trained.
Also helps teachers. So teachers are happy that they have got new facilities and they are happy to teach here. They will prepare themselves and teach the students accordingly. So the students and teachers, they will work together. There will be more commitment because they have got better facilities than other teachers' colleges.
The Education Department has made changes to improve the quality of teacher training. This includes increasing the 2 years teacher training to 3 years to improve teacher competency. Entry into primary teachers training colleges is now grade 12. The Education Department recognized only 14 teacher training colleges and training providers in the country. The European Union is also providing the same support to further strengthen quality education at the Medeng and Gowlin Teachers Colleges. It is a partnership program between the European Union and the Department of Education to achieve both the global and the government of PNG's development priorities. The project focuses on enhancing the management capacity of PNG's education system. Mata Lewis, National EMTV News, Ley.
Vendors at Cocky's Informal Market in Port Moresby are not easily giving away the land the market is built on. Vendors say the acquisition of the land title claimed by South Wagi MP Joe Coim is something that needs proper investigation. Community leaders stated that the land is a reserved land for a park and not for business purposes. They say the Moresby South MP Justin Chirchenko has built this informal market to create business and wealth to support the community.
It's not an issue between minister, it's not an issue between NCDC government and you. It's an issue between us poor people and you now. We are not going to give this land easily.
The market do mibla. Kid mibla by market na mibla by staff. Do mibla by benefit through lo disla market. Lo salim na kisim game school fee lo pikini help mibla to lo standard dompelo city.
We don't know how the land was acquired and what transpired there, but this Bilnat market was built with proper procedures being followed through the Physical Planning Board and CDC.
And now looking at our finance news, the Kina closed at $0.3265 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.3190 $0.4145 Australian dollars, €0.2789 and 35.29 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa and copper closed higher, while gold closed the day lower. Copper also closed lower, while palm oil and crude oil closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 155.73 points higher, the ASX closed at 14.95 points higher, and the All Ordinaries closed at 12.93 points higher. Criminals hold up shop in Manus, LLG funding cuts in East New Britain, and MVIL partner with Madang Provincial Government. I'll be back after the break with all the details. Welcome back to the news. Manus Police reported its first major armed hold-up for 2016 at Lorengau Town earlier this week. Acting Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector David Yapu said two masked men held up the Lorengau Enterprise on Sunday and robbed the store of cash and goods worth more than 71,000 kina. Mr. Yapu says the two men, armed with a shotgun and a bush knife, slashed an Indian shop assistant before escaping with the loot. Senior Inspector Yapu has since appealed to the public to come forward with information while appealing to the Manus public not to harbour the two criminals. He assured the general public and business houses in Manus to continue with business as usual, as police will be tough on lawbreakers. Rabaul Town Mayor Changal Manuai says the cut in LLG funding has left many LLG projects in his ward incomplete. Mr. Manuai says a combination of the delay in the release of funds and the budget cut has forced ward councillors and LLG presidents to delay their development project plans. He said this has left many people questioning why there hasn't been any development at the ward level.
With the recent cut in LLG funding from 500,000 kina to a mere 100,000 kina per LLGs in 2015, it triggered a noticeable downturn in development in all levels of the LLGs in districts across the country.
Especially DSIP.
The town mayor of Rabaul, Changal Manuai, is a lone voice in the province who on numerous occasions has raised concerns over the LLG budget cut.
Time only been putting LLG SIP along $500,000. Lamibla working ward plans Lamibla towards that 500,000. Time only cutting go back to 100,000. Last year, Mibla no kisim. Mibla implementing more project Lamibla.
While the new LLG budget of 100,000 kina might seem like big money, those closest to the people, the village councillors and their presidents, say it can't cater to their development plans at the village level.
Especially on all LLGs, Mibla got between 15 to 30 projects are still outstanding.
Those who have felt the pinch of these LLG funding adjustments are the ordinary people in the village, those who have voted for this third tier of government and who have over the years been the main drivers of criticisms towards their local leaders.
We haven't done our projects. Now our people are saying that 5 years in office, you don't know something.
Similar concerns were raised by Morobe Governor Kelly Naru earlier this year after the Morobe provincial budget was cut significantly.
With
the LLG elections coming soon and the low spending power of LLGs, many people have already begun questioning their LLG leaders why there hasn't been any development at the ward level during their term in office. Edwin Fidelis, National EMTV News, Kokopo.
People of Sogeri and neighbouring communities will now have access to better health and market facilities thanks to the Australian government through the Kokoda Initiative and Central Governor Killa Howder. The improvement of the health facility has now allowed staff to treat patients for TB, HIV/AIDS and other STIs and effectively reduce the number of people who travel to Port Moresby General Hospital for treatment.
The new Disease Control Centre and Laboratory will be used to test and treat TB patients, HIV and other STIs and diseases. The previous layout of the health centre did not support confidentiality of patients and resulted in a number of clients reluctant to attend for the required monitoring and treatment. Councillor Brendan Pearce, representing the Australia High Commission, said that Australia had always helped clothe the people of Kokoda because of the shared history of World War II and looked to help the people of Kokoda through what is known as the Kokoda Initiative.
The facilities are expected to improve healthcare for about 18,000 people in the Sogeri and Koyari areas, so I think that's really something.
The improved health facility cost 710,000 kina. 600,000 kina was spent on a new disease control centre. With TB an issue, the people there have realised that and presented a drama on TB and how people misinterpret it for sorcery. Pearce was presented with a copper beating of showing the traditional home built high in the trees.
Is delivering on its commitments under the Kokoda Initiative and the Joint Declaration. Indeed, we're here this morning to open a health facilities worth some 710,000 kina, funded by the Australian Government.
Sister Cecilia Valam says that this will be important because they will be able to treat patients at Sogeri and save the trouble of patients, especially TB patients, travelling to Port Moresby to receive treatment. The health facilities also include a postnatal ward. The ward has 3 beds and a private delivery room.
So if he finds that there's TB bacilli, then he puts them straight on treatment. All he does is go collect new treatment to come.
The opening of the facility also coincided with the opening of the new market. The new infrastructure will house local farmers who travel from small villages around Sogeri and was funded by Central Governor from the PSIP funds. Adelaide Sirrox, Kari National, EMTV News.
Vehicle operators in Madang Province will now register their vehicles with the Madang Provincial Government under a new partnership arrangement between MVIL and the Madang Provincial Government. This follows the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between MVIL and Madang Provincial Government today in Port Moresby.
Madang was the second last province in the country to have signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited to accommodate for vehicle registration. The agreement signing process was officiated in Port Moresby through an instrument signing between MVIL Chief Executive Officer Joe Wemin and Madang District Administrator Daniel Aloy. Under this new partnership arrangement, MVIL will work together with Madang Provincial Government to conduct vehicle registration and insurance services to monitor capacity of vehicles transported into the province.
The important aspect of that agreement is that MVIL will administer the registration component of the internal revenue. Now, registration is a revenue for the provincial government. It's a delegated function from the Department of Transport. Now, our responsibility is the third party, motor vehicle third party insurance.
He said this prerogative is an integral part of MVIL plans to provide a cost-effective and efficient way of service delivery as stipulated under Vision 2050. Madang Provincial Administrator Daniel Aloy said through this great partnership, Madang Provincial Government will see reform in core areas of service delivery.
There are certain businesses which are not our core responsibilities, and many times as administration we entangle ourselves with all those non-core businesses, and in doing so we abandon our core responsibilities. That's one. And number two is that rightfully so, this is an activity that is administered through this state-owned enterprise, and in all its fairness and in its rightful responsibility, it's a responsibility. It's an activity that must be executed by MVIL. So we on that at that juncture, we look forward to, getting this necessary instrument sorted out, and then we allow the operations to continue.
Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
Broadcasting live video once required cameras, videos and satellite trucks. But today, a smartphone can do it all. Some companies in the United States are investing millions of dollars into live streaming.
Today I'm live streaming from my smartphone to people watching on social media, some things that I've always wanted to do here in New York, starting with a visit to the top of the new World Trade Center. So I'm broadcasting live right now on Twitter's Periscope. You can see Uptown Manhattan there, the Empire State Building, and Central Park is just off there in the distance. Meerkat was the first live streaming app to hit it big. A few weeks later, though, Twitter kicked it off of its platform in favor of its own app, Periscope. And even though there's so much competition, tech experts say there's a big chance for big money to be made by the leading social networks.
The reason for that is because there are so many different ways that they can monetize this. They can monetize it with a pre-roll, maybe a short 15-second ad that people will see before a live stream starts.
See if I survive. Still attempting to defy gravity. If you think I can do it, I'll do it. I know you can do it. All right. My next live streaming event is on Facebook as I go indoor skydiving. Even though I have 100,000 more followers on Twitter, my Facebook followers are watching this live stream way more. Excelente, bravo, I believe I can fly. Yeah. And they're much more engaged.
People are watching more and more video really every month on Facebook, so they're spending more time on the platform, so more likely that they're going to see that you're live streaming, and they're going to want to engage it.
YouTube is supposed to be the top dog for internet video. They have a live streaming platform, but it lags way behind Twitter's or Facebook's. They only allow you to use Samsung phones. Other companies might be waiting in the wings, like Snapchat, but the real breakthrough may come with celebrity live streaming.
Trukai Sports is up next with details of the Telecom National Soccer League and the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The grand final of the Telecom National Soccer League will see Hekari United FC take on defending champions Ley City Dwellers at the Sir John Guy Stadium in Port Moresby tomorrow. In their last encounter, Hekari thrashed Dwellers 5-0. MTV's Shane Soroya took to the streets today to find out what the fans had to say.
Now the Ley City Dwellers have suffered a devastating loss in the hands of Hekari United last weekend and are hoping for a comeback this weekend. So we decided to ask the public on who they support in the NSL Grand Final.
Go Hekari. With you guys.
We support them one name. Only because I'm one highway, we support.
So, mega big blood trust me, Hekari United was grand finals. Okay.
Lo, game lo le mora to solo. Namo tu gol solo mo game plan di penalty lo. Maybe watch lo last time lo stadium. Yeah, me support them Ley City Dwellers.
All comes to pass. Hopefully, Ley City Dwellers will come out with a win.
Me Ishmael Balkawa. Support the Ley City Dwellers. My Morobe. Go City Dwellers.
Me at the Bina, me support them Hekari United. Go Hekari.
Go Hekari! Yes, go Ley City Dwellers. As a Sumba.
No, me Hekari va win.
Me like mo Ley City must win because all sim Ley no come down low. Must be so.
Go Hekari!
Could be 2-1 or 3-1. We'll see. Whoever comes up with a stronger defense on the day will probably win.
But you're going for Lake City Dwellers?
Yeah, I want Lake City Dwellers to win.
Yeah, we're losing players now. Go down and Dwellers and team Lumiso. We don't like Kari.
The match between Hekari United and Lake City Dwellers will be held at the St. John Guy Stadium tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. And it'll be brought to you live on MTV. Shane Saroya, National MTV Sports.
Papua New Guinea has drawn Brazil in their opening match for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The draws had been announced early this morning at FIFA headquarters in Zurich, with Sweden and People's Democratic Republic of Korea also pooled with PNG. FIFA President Gianni Infantino, when opening the official draw ceremony, described the competition as great because it would showcase the footballing talent of girls and women going forward in the sport. Papua New Guinea will meet Brazil on the 13th of November at 7 p.m. at the Sir John Guy Stadium in Port Moresby. Two players from the College of Canyons women's football team in the United States have committed to taking their playing careers to the next level. Kirsten Fowl and Papua New Guinean Lucy Mino have been elected to attend San Diego Christian College. Mino is also a current member of the PNG national women's team, but playing and studying in the US.
Papua New Guinean-born Lucy Mino has now elected to attend San Diego Christian College. San Diego Christian College is a National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics program located in Santee, California. Mino was an integral part of the Papua New Guinea national women's football team when they went on to win gold at last year's Pacific Games.
Papua New Guinea lead 1-0. It was only a matter of time.
Mino is based in the US and has been a standout for College of Canyons, helping a team win back-to-back Western State Conference championships in 2014 and 2015. She's a defender and served as co-captain in 2015, where College of Canyons allowed opponents to score just 17 goals while posting 9 shutouts. On the NCSA Athletics recruiting website, Mino said it would be a privilege to have the opportunity to continue her career and play in college.
Not be too impressed with this, but these are the rules. The player has to leave the pitch.
Dion Kombeng, National MTV Sports.
And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The Port Moresby Rugby League competition kicked off their 2016 season this afternoon at the National Football Stadium, with games to continue on Sunday. All matches will be played on Oval 2, the oval situated next to the main grandstands. In the Under-20 division, Connor Tigers were up against Hohola Flies, while in the A-grade matches on Sunday, West will front a strong defence outfit and the Royals are up against Brothers at 3 p.m. This weekend sees the PNG Hunters play their first home game against the Tweedhead Seagulls in round 3 of the Queensland Intrust Super Cup. While the Hunters are preparing at their home ground, the Seagulls have named their team for tomorrow's match at the National Football Stadium. The Seagulls team includes the likes of 5 possible Gold Coast Titans NRL players.
Backwards.
The names to watch in the Tweedhead Seagulls in this weekend's clash against the PNG Hunters are 5 possible Gold Coast Titans players: Shannon Walker, Le'ava Lee, Samuel Irwin, Kieran Mosley and Ryan Simpkins. Under the guidance of coach Aaron Zemurl, the Seagulls' 90-man squad arrived in Port Moresby today in time for the Hunters' first home game tomorrow at the National Football Stadium. Seagulls captains Samuel Seville and Samuel Maskell will lead their team to round 3 of the Intrust Super Cup, hopeful for a win, following a disappointing loss to the Burleigh Bears in round 2.
The ball comes back to the fullback. He puts a little mini bomb across field and is taken by the other winger, but a good defense coming in George Benson, but he's managed to offload, and another pass back inside to
The game against the PNG Hunters kicks off at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow at the National Football Stadium. Jaylee Sapies, National MTV Sports.
Following his departure from rugby union, former Pupuk 7-star Butler Morris was seen training with the PNG Hunters yesterday at the National Football Stadium. Morris, who recently switched codes to join Intercity Cup team Lace Snacks Tigers, arrived at the Hunters camp on Wednesday. While no official announcements have been made, the addition of Morris to the PNG Hunters squad could see a rise in the Hunters pool of talent. Former Fiji international and Highlanders rep Seru Rambeni has died at the age of 37. Rambeni made 2 World Cup appearances for Fiji in 2003 and 2007 in the centres after debuting for the Fiji Sevens in the 2002 Commonwealth Games in Manchester. He later joined Leicester after a successful 2 years with Super Rugby franchise the Highlanders. Rambeni earned 30 caps for Fiji, scoring 10 points, and also featured in the Barbarians team. Since his passing, the World Rugby fraternity has labelled him as one of World Rugby's most powerful and destructive centres. Trukai Sports ends on that note. You're with the details for the next 24 hours when we return.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
And now looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Some overnight showers in Port Moresby, thundery showers for Daru and showers for Kerma, Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, showers for Lae City and thundery showers for Wewak, Madang and Vanimore. In the New Guinea Islands, rain with thunderstorms in Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka, and showers with thunderstorms in Buka. And lastly, in the Highlands region, all centres expecting rain and showers. And that's how it is this Friday, the 18th of March 2016. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Lorraine Genia. Pleasant viewing. Good night.